The following is a presentation of TFNN. Live at TFNN, the Power Trading Hour with your host, David White. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044. Now, David White.
And welcome all to another exciting edition of the Power Trading Hour with me, your humble, lovable, squeezably soft host, as we go right back in to one more day of trading. And it is quiet. We're up 3 points on the S&P cash, 1.9 billion shares on the New York Consolidated Tape. And what are we waiting for now? We're waiting for our earnings. IBM after the bell. We got a lot of big, heavy hitters out all this week. On Friday, we're going to start seeing biotechs come out for their earnings. And everything is priced for perfection now. They made their mistake last week on Google, and they say in Netflix, and they're saying they're not going to do it again. If it is dubious in the way of earnings and valuation, they're going to jack these prices up, and then we'll see them pull back, and we'll find out what the reality is, but probably down the road. As always, you can call me at 877-927-6648. You can email me at path@tfnn.com, and you can also post a message in the den. As always, we'd like to start off every show with a little bit of history, because, of course, if you don't know your history, you are destined to repeat it.
That it's all just a little bit of history repeating.
On this day in 1992, Schwab opens its mutual fund supermarket, allowing investors to choose from hundreds of different funds without paying transaction fees, as it introduces the One Source program, and really kind of opened up the era of ETFs. And I don't know if there's much more to say about that other than he has a lot to do with the retail trader entering the market and bringing down costs for trading. The retail trader probably up into that period of time, 1992 to 1995. Basically, it was like going to play poker against the house, and that was the rake was so enormously large that if you made a profit after your the cost of your trade, it was a miracle. It is no longer that way. At $10 a trade for most trades out there, it has changed a whole lot. And of course, being able to go with funds and index funds without standing in line in front of a broker who is going to make you just that, much broker. But kind of the era of modern electronic trading and funds on this day in 1992. A lot of discussion over this weekend about the definition of insanity. This is kind of typical of a lot of what you're hearing over in Europe right now. But they're talking about the lack of any conditional debt relief as called by for the IMF, despite a slight softening of position by the weekend by Germany. Well, could make less likely the IMF will even want to be involved, meaning that any program is more likely to fail. Although they've reached a deal, I don't know if it's worth the paper that they printed on. And we talked about that before. There is no iron in the words of paper, only iron in the words of man's hearts. And I don't suspect there's a lot of iron in anything that anybody's agreeing to over there in Greece. And that still could, the wheels could still fall off the wagon fairly quickly. And the prime minister of Greece out there still having a great deal of problems politically. This whole thing could unravel quickly. I will admit my bet was that they wouldn't come to a deal. They did come to a deal. I still suspect that probably by the end of the year, this all unravels, because it just, the sheer insanity of it is worse than war. And that is, they are pretending that Greece will pay them back, and they're lending them more money because Greece doesn't have any, which is perfect fail-safe logic. There's a lot of political issues out there, but it just fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Apparently, fool me 3 times, and it's the magic number in Greece. But I'll have to just try to figure out, maybe take some aspirin, maybe this headache of Greece will go away. Of course, we had what some people are calling a gold flash crash today.
Goldfinger.
Goldfinger. There's always a man. They always say there's a man behind the curtain. I was talking to Andy earlier, and he doesn't buy the whole flash crash thing. I just think he had a thin market and had some people really taking advantage of it. But this stock market, or at least the market in gold, was ready to crack already. Someone may have had to liquidate. There may be a lot of other reasons on it, some more nefarious than others. But I suspect it happened, and enough volume did occur that not going to change a great deal out here. Most people, kind of interesting, but what we found out is you got 1 day, or you got basically 1/5 of a whole day's trade in a normal session in 3 minutes or 2 minutes. So it wasn't like it came without any kind of volume. So it wasn't like they just ran every stop and then came back a couple of minutes later, although a great deal of it came back. I haven't looked at it lately. 11:07 is the last time I looked at gold. But it doesn't look like a whole much else going on out there. A lot of discussion on whether or not it was probably some computer issues between Australia and the Chinese markets, but it's unknown. But some people asked me in the den this morning about it, and I would just say that you probably have a lot of people that are on the wrong side of the fence on this right now. And to me, the best thing to do is probably give this a couple more days before you even think about trading it. These margin calls, I think, are going to continue to roll through, and it doesn't seem like that's going to make anything change anytime soon. Of course, here's a nice little chart if you haven't seen it over there. And, you know, you got a nice pullback above 1100. So everybody was willing to go dive back into this. But to me, all I see is a lot of risk and not a lot of reward yet in gold. And when we talked about what I was looking for to find a bottom in gold, it wasn't a 30-point drop, but it was probably a 50 or 100-point drop over a number of days. So there still isn't anything. This is kind of the start of it, of making a bottom, and that is washing out the last of the people. But again, it's not equally or easily put into a chart. But what I'm looking for is complete and utter demoralization for the people that are long gold before it finds a bottom. And I suspect that since we had such a nice little whip back up from the lows, that we have not found that yet. This is just the first of many attempts to basically make people wash out, generally at the lows. But this does not resolve itself in one day. Also, I had a lot of people sending me emails over the weekend about GMO studies. This study that they say came out this week actually came out in 2012. It's called the Seranali paper. Seranali? Don't know. I'm assuming this guy is Italian. Anyway, this paper came out originally in 2012 on GMOs, and Monsanto is pushing back on this, hiring a lot of people, in fact, hiring investigators, because while I don't know that they don't cause any problems, what we do know is that the gentleman that wrote this paper was severely flawed and had an axe to grind. He bought rats that were bred to have an 80% chance of developing tumors in their life. It was not surprising that they developed tumors from the Monsanto drug. Now, I am reticent to even start this because everybody has an opinion, and not many people have actually dug into this too far. There are some major things that you can say about Roundup and genetically modified materials. One is that, of course, the pigweed is not killed by this, and that's going to make pigweed one of these things that the only thing you can do is go into your crops and start pulling them. That is a known issue. One of the other big issues with this is, of course, a lot of people are talking about it killing bees, and it doesn't kill bees in the traditional sense. They're not poisoned. But what happens is everything blooms at once because farmers don't really put in, you know, a field of corn and then one of wheat the next year or something. They tend to just be a one-note Johnny, and either they do a lot of wheat or they do a lot of corn or they do something. And since all the flowers, everything else in that area tends to all happen at once, there isn't a constant blooming of different things at different times. It all kind of happens at once. And most of the deaths around the bees that they see now is because there's just a very short window of time that they have to go out and get nectar and do everything else. It's not so much poison as the fact that it is an incredibly narrow window for them to collect everything that they need. And if the farmers would probably be a little smarter on two sides, they rotate their crops a little bit more. And certainly the guy next to you in his 64 acres would probably grow something different than you do, and the guy next door would do that. Unfortunately, there's whole hectares, hundreds of hectares, thousands of hectares that's nothing but corn or wheat, and that really plays heck with the bees because they don't have a lot of time to get out there. In the olden days, and wagon wheels and stuff, of course, there was a lot of diversity, and that is one of the biggest problems with GMO crops is the lack of diversity that farmers are using. Maybe something needs to be done about that. Of course, if you haven't been watching and you're a big proponent of a lot of these marijuana companies that are either selling accounting software or any of a ton of other things, on July 9th, basically a court case came down from the San Francisco 9th Circuit of Appeals that basically says that you can write off a zero if you are selling marijuana. That means whatever your gross receipts are what you pay taxes on. 100% of their gross profit as opposed to net profit. If you're thinking about getting into a lot of these companies, a lot of them fly by night already, watch out. It's going to be pretty easy to do your business. Whatever your gross receipts are is what you will pay for taxes. Be back.
TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABC's, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
Tiger TV is an exciting way to experience TFNN programming. See high-definition video, giving you crisp crystal clear charts, as well as seeing some of the faces of TFNN's highly acclaimed financial experts with crisp, full fidelity sound. Catch Tom O'Brien, John Logan, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, Larry Pesavento, Think or Swim, David White, Andy Hecht, and Daryl Martin in crystal clear, high definition audio and video. Tiger TV, exclusively at TFNN.com. Platinum, grains, crude oil, gold, copper, cattle, hogs, gasoline, natural gas, coffee, cotton, cocoa, and sugar. These are just some of the commodities mentioned in the most recent issue of Andy Hecht's Techno-Mental Commodity Report. Andy publishes his weekly newsletter every Thursday morning, where he breaks down the commodity market and provides his subscribers with specific trading recommendations based on his trading methodology. By signing up for a free trial to the Techno-Mental Commodity Report, you'll get a full 30 days to try out this powerful newsletter service and see for yourself the types of trades Andy has recommended for his subscribers. When you sign up for a 30-day free trial, you're under no obligation to pay anything. And should you decide to continue, you will lock in the low rate of only $79 a month. Sign up right now for the Techno-Mental Commodity Report and make sure you're ready to catch the next big trade in commodities. For more information and to get started today, visit the front page of TFNN.com.
You've always taken the long view when it comes to investing, but what if there's an opportunity right under your nose? What if you could be more responsive to market trends to seek to boost your portfolio performance right now while seeking to reduce your overall risk? At Direction Funds, we connect investors with alternative strategies that seek to maximize their returns. Smart investors deserve smart alternatives. Find yours at directionfunds.com. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risk charges, and expenses of Direction Funds carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction Funds. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact the Direction Funds at 800-851-0511. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. Investing in index funds may be more volatile than investing in broadly diversified funds. Distributed by Rafferty Capital Markets, LLC.
Many of our new listeners have heard about the Tiger's Den, but wondered, what exactly is it? The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of your favorite TFNN shows, plus see all the charts as they happen live during those shows and have access to all those charts. You can test drive the Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days. It will greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets. Details on the Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com. Dave takes your phone calls now. Toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044.
And we're back. I think it's this Wednesday, Dodd-Frank. The Consumer Protection Act is 5 years old after its sponsors are out doing a victory lap this week. What they will not say is less than half of the some 250 provisions in Dodd-Frank have gone into law. That's because most of them were so poorly written as to not be enforceable or actually have a goal that isn't even understood by regulators. It is far from being ready to stand on its own 2 feet. And my guess is that we probably have seen almost all of what's actually ever going to happen out of Dodd-Frank out here. Always loved Groucho Marx belief of politics, and that is that politicians look for trouble everywhere, find it, and then prescribe the wrong prescription to solve it, and probably couldn't be any better. And of course, Dodd and Frank, probably two guys that couldn't know less about the financial banking system, wrote it, and that probably tells you the reason why we're having the problem we are with it. That is, this history goes back some 400 years of people writing worthless laws after the cow has left the barn. Also, in more hacking news out here that I think is very interesting, probably start affecting eventually, this is going to have some kind of effect on these high-flying stocks that are in the security field. But actually, Madison is a cheating site where you can, if you're married, go on and find other people to cheat with you. Had all their data stolen over the weekend. And what is interesting, there's some 37 million users, almost all of them in the United States. Their slogan is, life is short, have an affair. Anyway, apparently they got all or some of 37 million users and are threatening to release it if the sites do not shut down. So I don't know if this is like a hacker with a conscience or what's going on, or if it's just a smoke screen. My thought is let the, what do you call it? I had it on the tip of my tongue. Blackmail begin. Oh, somebody in the den said, are you thinking Dodd and Frank actually wrote it? They had a lot to do with it. They'd been working on it for several years before anything ever happened. So while they probably didn't write the whole thing, they wrote a great deal of it, or at least approved of it. They put their name on it. I don't know what else you could say about that. Anyway, I'm looking for a lot of people to get some emails saying, pay up or we'll rat you out to your wife. You know, maybe if these people were smart enough, they got a bogus credit card and a bogus phone to go along with their bogus life at Ashley Madison. My guess is this is a bunch of guys that are all going to get busted for something that never happened, because almost all of these dating sites or cheating sites have always been a scam. And that has been one of the things that most men do not know. The dating sites, even Yahoo's dating site going back 10 years ago, maybe even longer. I think it was 2005. Yahoo, the company that we know that all thinks is so wonderful, 9 out of 10 of those were recycled from some other areas for the women. All the men thought that they were getting and were able to get to the women somehow, but they were all fake. And I think Yahoo spent hundreds of millions of dollars to settle that. But I think it goes back 10 years, maybe 8 years. Probably not any different. So these guys signed up for a dating site to cheat on their wives, and probably all they're going to get for their trouble is to be blackmailed. But yeah, wonder about it. Nobody really talking about it today, but boy, at noon, SSYS, the biggest of the 3D printing stocks, was off 7%. DDD, 3D Systems, off 6.5%. X1 off 4.5%. ONVO, which is a bio printing company, off 2%. And VoxelJet off 2.6%. These things just continue to find no lows. And it's very interesting to me out here to see these stocks continue to get hammered, why stocks that literally make no money go to the moon today. But I do digress. It is a mad market. When we come back, we'll get into charts for the second half of the show. Make sure and give me an email, as Brent in Martinez, California has. We'll get to him as soon as we get back.
The Path of Least Resistance is David White's daily trading newsletter, and if you're looking for active trading ideas, then now's a perfect time for a 30-day free trial to this powerful daily trading advisory service. David uses his years of trading experience to offer his subscribers his trading ideas each morning in his Path of Least Resistance newsletter. Using a combination of equity trades along with options, David keeps his subscribers up to date with all pertinent market information with intraday afternoon updates when warranted. Don't miss out on this great chance to get a 30-day free trial to David's daily newsletter, The Path of Least Resistance, with no obligation to pay anything. David has been delivering solid recommendations for his subscribers recently, and if you'd like to see the type of newsletter he delivers every morning, then visit the front page of TFNN, and you'll find The Path of Least Resistance under Trading Newsletters. For all the details and to start your 30-day free trial today, log on to TFNN.com now. Has the current market volatility continued to stop you out of trades when the market spikes against you? Now is the perfect time to open up an account with Nadex. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a brand new, completely regulated Chicago-based exchange, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their completely free trading platform, which also features real-time charts and full customization capability. One of the advantages of trading with Nadex in volatile markets is that your risk is always capped and you have the ability of keeping your trades open even when the market spikes against you. Nadex is completely brand new with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's Nadex.com. Or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors.
If you're an active trader looking for that extra edge when it comes to trading and investments, then now is a great time to get a 2-week free trial to Tom O'Brien's daily market letter, Market Insights. Tom O'Brien's daily newsletter, Market Insights, comes out every market day at around 9:30 a.m. and provides Tom's daily commentary on the broad market, including the Dow, NASDAQ, and S&P, plus specific trade recommendations. There's even an update published most afternoons to keep you informed about the day's market activity. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock and option trade. With Market Insights, there's nothing left to guessing. For all the details and to get your 2-week free trial to Market Insights started today, visit TFNN.com.
If you're looking for a great opportunity to diversify your financial portfolio, consider the Principal Protected Market Safe CD from Everbank. They've just released the second running of their 5-year Market Safe Power Metal CD, which combines the power of gold, silver, and copper. You get exposure to 3 valuable metals in one index CD and have the potential to earn up to 45% capped upside payment at maturity if the metals increase in value across annual pricing dates. And should they decrease? No worries. There's zero risk to your deposited principal here, as you still get 100% of it back. Keep in mind, returns are based on CD performance. There is no annual percentage yield or periodic rate of interest on the CD. Intrigued yet? The August 17th funding deadline is quickly approaching. So hurry over to everbank.com/TFNN-CD for more information, including important product details and disclosures. Once again, that's everbank.com/TFNN-CD. Everbank is a member FDIC.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
And we're back with Tom from Boston. How you doing today, Tom?
Great. How are you, Dave?
Another day in paradise. If you say paradise is a steam bath in the middle of Florida. But we
you guys
will
are pretty
continue.
muggy down there. I'm in the Boston area, and we're pretty bad up here, too. I think it's around 90. I haven't been out yet, but I can feel the heat inside.
It's 90 here, and it rains about every 2 hours. And then as soon as it rains, it all evaporates, and it's right back at 100% humidity.
Oh,
So
yeah. The humidity's been heavy yesterday, and I think today is pretty bad, too, up here. You guys probably know. I know Tom's from the Boston area, so he knows how it can get up in this area.
Yep.
Reason I called, first I want to congratulate you. I spoke to you a couple of weeks ago. You told me to call back later to speak to Andy, which I did, about the gold, and you were spot on gold coming down, GDX I had asked about, and I see that's getting slammed today.
Yep.
The first question I had is, do you think this is kind of a washout here, or do we got more to go?
Well, I would do 2 things. One, even on the short term, this is probably enough to cause additional margin selling. So we won't really know anything, I don't think, for another couple of days.
Okay.
This is the first day. Then we're probably going to have a couple more days. But there were so many true believers in gold.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, this isn't like a normal stock. This is, if you go back, I don't know how long you've been trading, but if you go back to the mid-'90s, the people that believed in iOmega, which was a kind of a hard drive, a portable hard drive company, I mean, it didn't matter how it was 1/10 the price. It was still going to go right back up to the highs. I mean, there's a handful of stocks over time and or things like gold that are just, I'm going to call them cults.
Oh, yeah.
And it is hard to break that mentality. And until you basically run people out of it with a washout. But my guess is a lot of people thought that we'd made and tested a low on Friday, and they probably went in whole hog and had margin in it.
Yeah,
and I think that's kind of why we saw the action that we saw in Asia this morning, was just a lot of people being run out.
Yeah, they blew it out about 3 in the morning or somewhere around there. It was where the big drop. I looked at a chart and I was like, wow. I mean, it already was off the low when I saw it, but it was down like, I don't know, $20 or more lower.
Well, one of the reasons I wasn't bullish on gold was it came down with heavy energy. And there is what's branched this conversation in two things. One, has it hit a low? And two, would you buy it if it had? If it wasn't going anywhere, if it just stayed at the same price, would you buy it? And the answer, of course, is no.
Right.
So the question is this a V bottom or is this a U bottom, right? And to me, it would be most likely that even if this was something, it would be a U bottom. It's going to take some while for all the interest to burn off. I want a couple of things. I want either a 100-point move down or something, and maybe even more. I want something that just makes people absolutely insane, gives all hope up, all that enter, give V hope up. I forget where that came from, but
so that's what you wait, because I know Andy had mentioned something about around $900.
Yeah, I don't know if you can put the number on it, because at this point, when people go insane, the charts kind of are great as long as they're rational people.
Yeah.
When they become irrational, everything goes out the door, including technicals for a great deal of it. I can see how, on a technical basis, you could say that 900 area is something that you can hit. To me, it has always been when you break lows on something like this, it has a lot more to do with the madness of crowds, not the wisdom of crowds. And so I'm on that side right now, where everybody's going to be playing these things. They're going to have huge moves. They're going to trade like .com stocks did. And to the downside, it's hard for me to say that anything before 3 days, I think, is premature in making any decision or trying to come up with one. I think we need to go sideways and see what happens. And then we've got to decide whether or not we have a U or a V bottom. My guess is, with all the energy on the way down, it's going to be a U bottom, which means that we might have, a month going sideways, even if this was a bottom. So I can't see any reason. You remember that horrible song about 1970, Billy, Don't Be a Hero?
Yeah.
Okay. Don't be a fool with your money instead of a fool with your...
Yeah,
okay.
I saw the washout, and I saw it was down on Friday. So I was listening with Andy's numbers there. I said, well, we didn't hit that last night. We're still, $150 or so anyway, away, maybe more than where he was looking. I just had a second question for you. This is a little different path, but I know where you're a tech guy. If your shows, the way you have them, you can go get the MP3s on them, it's archived. If you had a radio show like yours and you didn't have the MP3s and I wanted to podcast it or something so I could save it and play it on my computer later, how would I go about that? Do I use the podcatchers, those type of things, or? All the stuff is archived on YouTube too. Okay.
So there's lots of add-ons for Firefox and Chrome that will download any video on YouTube.
What if it's just like just audio, just a regular AM radio station or FM radio station that's broadcasting your show, and you wanted to pick up that show?
You can download them right off our website.
No, I know you can on yours, but I'm saying if it was any show that you were running, say you didn't have the ability to download it from your website, is there a way that while it's streaming on the computer that, other than I've run it to a VCR and taped it and done it that way, but is there any other way I can do it other than that?
Yeah, you can just directly record it. Are you talking about Windows?
Yeah, yeah, the products I have are the Windows. I don't have the Apple, but yeah. You're saying you
that's
can
fine. I'm Windows too. There's a couple of programs out there. What version of Windows are you using?
Well, I've got some newer and some older. I've got the Windows 8.1. I got a 7. I got an old 2000. I use the 2000 a lot because I love it. It's something I've used for years, but it's really outdated. But but I know there's a program Audacity that you can use that, put that on. But it seems
that didn't really set up for what you're doing because you want to record the audio stream, but you want to record it. Where's that here?
More like to apply my MP3.
On Windows 8, you want to go to the Windows Store and look for a thing called Recorder 8.
Recorder 8. Okay, and that will allow you to do that. Once you put the station on the streaming, you just tell it to record this station at this time.
Well, if you plug it into your whatever you want, yeah, or you can set up times, I think. But okay. I've got it on my little laptop here. And occasionally you'll hear me play back things from CNBC or TV.
Yeah.
And all I've done is put this next to my TV, hook the output up to it, and recorded it to my little laptop here. The one thing I love about Recorder 8 is it uses the cloud. So I recorded it on the laptop, and then it automatically sends it to the cloud, so I've got it on my desktop over here.
Okay, so that's part of the Windows 8.1 that I have. It'll work on that, but it won't run on the older computers?
No, I'm running Windows 7 on what I'm doing here, and on Windows 7, I use another program. Here, let me try to find it out here. I think it's free audio recorder.
There's like a My MP3 My MP3 or something like that is another thing I've seen.
There's a bunch of them out here, but I think since I haven't used it for a while, did I take it off there?
I was worried on those though too, David. If you thought I'd get a virus trying to download some of that stuff, though,
if you go to cnet.com,
yeah,
and download and look for the stuff and do searches for it there,
okay,
or use the Windows Store because those are screened too.
I got you. So that's why you looked. That's why you did the other with the Windows. And the one you said before was called what? The Windows?
Windows 8?
Yes.
Or the Windows 7 version?
Well, I know you're looking up the Windows 7 one, but the Windows 8, what was that called again at the store?
Recorder 8.
Recorder 8. Okay, I got you. Okay, and on the Windows 7
and then another one is called Free Audio Recorder.
Free Audio.
And I don't know what happened to it here. Maybe since I've been using this other way of doing it, maybe I haven't, maybe I deleted it some time ago and didn't think about it. But I used it for years, but it was called Free Audio Recorder.
And that's on the Windows 7.
Yeah, if you go to cnet.com,
yeah,
it's a computer site with lots of reviews and stuff, but they have a downloading engine. So if you want to look for public domain stuff that you know that's been scanned already and they've checked it for viruses, that's a good place to download stuff.
So that free audio one, as I said, you would go to the station you want, the internet streaming radio station, and then you would tell that recorder start recording, or you could just have the station streaming and have the recorder kick on at a certain time, even if it wasn't at that moment that you want to record it.
Yeah, the free audio recorder thing that's been around for a long time, but before everybody was streaming everything, I used to record radio shows on, but yeah, you could schedule every night, have it turn on. You did have to, have some kind of radio and plug it into your computer so it could record it.
Okay, but
you had to have an audio cable. But yeah, other than that, it worked pretty good.
But if I'm streaming off of the internet,
it works the same way. You just need to. In Windows 7, I don't want to spend too much more time on this, but on Windows 7, when you go set everything up for that, let me see if I can show it here real quick, then we'll get on with it. If you open your recording and playing devices and your mixer, you can set up which one, but you can go into the controls in Windows, and it takes a little bit of time to set it up and figure out which one works. It just doesn't magically work, but you've got to turn on the ones and play with it a little bit, and then eventually you go, oh, okay, there it is. That's,
Okay.
the one. But if you take there's like a mix of everything on your computer out, which is what you want to record.
Okay. So, but that's in through the control panel, you said?
If you actually right-click on the little volume
Oh, I got you, yeah.
icon, on the right-click on it, you'll bring up all the stuff you need to find.
Okay, and one of those will be the one that will allow it to record internally. Because what I've done with the Audacity thing is I've got a two-mail...
You can do it with Audacity, too.
You're right, but it sounded raspy. It didn't, and it also looked like you're using up... it takes up your whole hard drive to get the stuff on there. If you're going to...
Right, because it doesn't save it compressed.
Right, they don't compress it, and you need another unit. You have to add on another unit with the Audacity to turn it to MP3. So I figured I was trying to see if they had something that was all done or done like outside in the cloud.
Free audio recorder. You'll find it on cnet.com.
Great, David. You are the best. I mean, you're good on your calls with the tech, and you're good on the call with the goal there.
Okay. Well, thank you very much.
Work. Yeah, and tell Andy I said thanks for his help, too.
Okay.
You have a good one.
You bet.
Bye.
What else do you have out here? Okay. Now we're on to bigger and better things. And, of course, AMBA question from Brent in Martinez, California. He's thinking the possibility of shorting, I suspect. And what you would want, this is a perfect double repo pattern. What you would want would be Umbrella to close back below either the 9-day simple moving average. I like particularly the 3x3 displaced moving average. Both of those are fairly close. But you have every sign out here of a giant bubble. Earnings are coming out, though, and that is a problem. GoPro, they're kind of in sympathy with this today. It had a big upgrade on some dubious news, GPRO. And that is, everybody believes that you'll have a GoPro in your car. It's just hard for me to believe that General Motors, Dodge, Chrysler, and Ford are going to allow a lot of these guys to get into the high-margin business in the cars, because those radios and sound systems and T-tops and sunroofs is where these guys make all their money. And the idea is that, of course, they're going to be GoPro ready and everything else. And the reality is going to be that the car companies are going to want to sell this stuff themselves. So a lot of people are saying either way, Umbrella wins, right? GoPro may or may not win. Umbrella has to. And I just think it's a matter of time before somebody comes out with a chip that rivals them. A lot of that is hold very close to the vest. But what you have to watch out is for some other company like Intel or some other large chip manufacturer to come out with a compression chip that rivals theirs. And, let's say that Umbrella's margins drop 50%. That means that their profit would be probably about 18% of what it is today. And that is the real problem with Umbrella, is whether someone comes out. Anyway, we'll be back in a minute. We'll talk a little bit more about this. But I see what he's looking at. Anyway, we'll be back in a minute.
TFNN is excited to offer a brand new piece of market scanning software unlike anything the industry has ever seen. John Logan and his team have spent years developing their market profile tools to finally be able to release the TAS Profile Scanner Plus. And right now you can get a 2-week trial absolutely free just by visiting TFNN.com and providing us your name and email address. The TAS Profile Scanner Plus is the premier market profile based scanner in the industry, powered by the acclaimed TAS TAS proprietary algorithms, this feature-rich scanner is a standalone desktop software that instantly filters over 2,500 global financial markets such as stocks, ETFs, commodity futures, and Forex. Within 3 minutes of signing up, you can have the software downloaded and running on your computer with a complete roadmap of market indicators and inflection points to trade off using the TAS Profile Scanner Plus. Sign up today and try this amazing piece of software by visiting TFNN.com.
Tom O'Brien's weekly gold letter, The Gold Report, gives complete and concise coverage of the entire gold market. Inside, you'll get Tom's commentary on gold, the dollar, the rand, the bond, the XAU, the HUI, and detailed coverage of nearly 25 mining stocks. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock trade. The Gold Report is a long-term newsletter where the focus is on building real wealth through the management of a successful portfolio of gold stocks. With a lifetime of knowledge and almost 12 years of writing his informative weekly newsletter, The Gold Report, Tom O'Brien can provide you with the important market information to help you make better trades in the gold market. Don't let the next bull run in gold pass you by. To get a month-long free trial to The Gold Report, an $85 value, visit the front page of TFNN.com today.
David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today.
Hi, I'm Steve Rhodes, host of the Trader's Edge, heard daily at TFNN.com and author of Mastering Probability, a daily investment and trading newsletter service that I send out each morning by 8 a.m. My morning newsletter service covers exactly what the markets have been doing since last night's close, providing you with an edge on your trading day ahead. You get actionable trading ideas, including the exact entry, stop, and profit targets. Plus, I'll teach you the patterns and hidden market correlations that will make you a better trader. As a subscriber, you'll gain access to my 90-minute money management workshop, where I'll teach you the secrets that'll save your assets. The bottom line, I've got your back, including a 30-day money-back guarantee. See for yourself the type of analysis I provide each trading day by signing up for Mastering Probability today. With nothing to lose, this is an offer you should not pass on. Mastering Probability can be found under Trading Newsletters on the front page of TFNN.com.
Catch Tom O'Brien, professional trader and educator, founder of TFNN. Also, a special guest on CNBC. Tom will bisect and dissect the markets. The Tom O'Brien Show, next on TFNN.
As always, Tom O'Brien for the next 2 hours. He'll be giving his instant reaction to earnings. IBM, of course, after the bell on 4 o'clock. Then we've got no Andy today. Andy tomorrow. He's got 4 new articles out on Seeking Alpha today. Cross-country default and cross-asset market risk, concentration, counterparty risk, counting, compliance, and correlation opportunities for the future of sugar. Greek resolution means new highs for the dollar. Sugar will be sweet again. Platinum, silver, and copper, ugliest in class. Bunch of articles out here on Seeking Alpha. And check them out from my friend Andy. And, of course, our previous caller was asking about it. I said it's free audio recorder. It's free sound recorder, I think is the one that I was talking about. But you can go to basically CNET, and they've got a button down there for downloads, and you can go there, and they basically make sure that there is not a virus in them. But There is a price to that. They wrap it with some stuff. You say, hey, no, I don't want to install all that stuff either. So you have to kind of watch while you're installing stuff. But that's the one I used for years. See, free sound recorder. Now, back to Umbrella, and then we're going to get to IBM out here, I think. Just make sure I've got caught up on my mail. Again, this thing came up, and, of course, very light volume. It's filling the gap down today. And I don't know what else you can say out here about that other than I would suspect that this thing's not going to get hammered until there's another chip out there that really can be it. And they've spent a lot of money and time building a chip that was incredibly inexpensive with high margins. We do have a phone call. We're going to go to Chris from the Indian named city in Wisconsin. How you doing today?
How are you? It's Neshota, Wisconsin.
Doesn't matter. Neodeshe. I'll know it for I'll be calling it that until the day I die. No teaching a dog new tricks out here. Occidental Petroleum, huh?
Yeah, I'm looking at it coming down with low volume into a daily swing back in, where is it here?
Yeah.
In October.
The problem is that all these are doing it, but they're all doing it, and they're all acting just like gold did. They're all breaking these lows, right? And they're keeping them. And that is what is problematic. I had probably 10 charts in the newsletter this morning, and I said I'm going to be very careful because this is acting just like gold did before it snapped. So, on the charts, this should have held 2.8, should have popped right back into the trading range above $71. It hasn't, right? I mean, you got about a fourth or a third of the volume. So all these things look beautiful, and they're not acting like they're supposed to. There's a great line in Jesse Livermore's book, which is if a stock doesn't act right, don't touch it, because if you can't tell what's wrong, then you will have no good prognosis, no profit. I think that's how the chapter of the book goes. I almost memorized it. I probably should have. But that's the problem, is these stocks continue to do poorly, and there are fairly significant volumes coming down into some of these lows out here. And let's take a look at XOM real quick. That's my only problem out here, is that these things continue to make lower lows and shouldn't, and the volume's not really, really being light out here. But they're probably the best sector right now in the market, and none of them are acting right.
Well, thank you.
I'll talk more about them tomorrow. How about that?
Great.
Okay. We'll see you tomorrow. Same bat channel, same bat time. Hang on for Tom O'Brien and IBM after the bell at 4. We'll see how that happens. Bye.
Larry Pesavento has just started his brand new service, Fibonacci 24/7, and he's already delivering content to his subscribers on a daily basis when the market's opened and even on weekends. Each Monday, you'll receive Larry's written report that provides detailed commentary and a summary on the charts and videos that Larry sends out. And throughout the week, when warranted, Larry will send out via charts or videos or both the key markets that he is watching during the day. This will be up-to-the-date, active trading information that will help you in your daily trading. In Larry's first week alone, he sent out 25 charts, 6 videos, and a full report to his subscribers in just 1 week. If you're a technical trader that uses patterns and retracements to trade, then Larry's service Fibonacci 24/7 is something that you must try. Right now, new subscribers can get a full 30-day money-back guarantee. With nothing to risk, sign up now to Larry Pesavento's Fibonacci 24/7 by visiting the front page of TFNN.com under Trading Newsletters.
You're watching Tiger TV.